Kishore Prabhu, do you like to do the Jaidvani?
You can do the Jaidvani, Prabhu.
Okay. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandhar Vikagiri Dhari Shishi Radha Vinod Vihari Ju Ki Jai Shri Govinda Gopīnātha Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudev Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupara Shatara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashatara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashatara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Bhagyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupara Ashatara Shata Shishmar Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gaur Kishoras Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Rupa Nagagoriya Guru Varga Ki Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Bhattadasa Raghunath Sharda Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai Namachay Śrīla Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Sarva Abhishta Pradatta Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda Ki Jai Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya Ki Jai Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Hare Krishna everybody, Dandavat Pranams Satya Mātājī, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mātājī, Kishore Krishna Prabhu, Rukmini Didi, Krishna Mai Didi, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook. Do I have this open? Yes, I do. I see there's Raseshwari Mātājī, Haribol, Ganga Mātājī, Vidya Lalasa Didi, and the other few people who are watching. Dandavat Pranams to all of you. Hare Krishna. All right, so we are continuing on with our reading of this beautiful book, A Life of Devotion, written the biography of Śrīla Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja, written by Devamayī Mātājī. Yeah, so let's just begin. Okay, sharing my screen. All right, so we will, oh, yes, Satya Mātājī, you're about to say something?
I just wanted to say that I am really enjoying reading this book. I am thinking about him all day long. It's so inspiring, just, it's really been wonderful to read this. And I want to thank you.
Oh, I'm so grateful for the opportunity, especially grateful to also Devamayī Mātājī, who wrote this book. But actually I've been finding that really, like, there isn't anything that gives me as much like inspiration or nourishment or like, and like in my spiritual life, like anything that makes me want to be serious or like actually make any kind of endeavor than reading about the lives of our Guru Varga like this, of these personalities. Yeah, I mean, it inspires me more than any other kind of devotional literature. Even like Srimad Bhagavatam, I'm just saying what like the effect on me. I'm not like, of course, Srimad Bhagavatam is our life and soul and our goal and our everything, but I'm just saying like what actually, like during the day, what makes me like hesitate to do like, engage my bad habits, like look at a bad movie or something like that. When I read the lives of our acharyas, I feel like, they wouldn't be happy with me if I did this, or they wouldn't, I don't know, like you feel like a connection with them, and you feel like they're watching you, or like there's something. Oh, thank you, Krishnamaya Mātājī, Didi.
And for me also, it's like, well, I can do that. I can do this. This is doable. All of this is doable. And it's right there. It's so inspiring. It's wonderful.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it really is. I feel 100% the same way.
So the words in the introduction are true.
Yeah. What were those words in the introduction again? Could you?
Well, I'll have to find them, but it opens a door that cannot be opened to us by rules and rituals. I mean, there's several like that.
Mhm.
It was talking about how it makes things a reality for us.
Yes. Oh, it really does. I mean, I was thinking. I mean, not right now because it's a busy, like, Kartik's coming up, but maybe after Kartik, if things aren't too crazy, it might be nice to do just like I could do an evening reading, which would be morning time for you all of you on the other side of the world, but
Yeah,
um
that would be great.
but that just like a daily reading about the lives of our acharyas, like we could read like my Gurudev wrote a biography about my Param Gurudev. There's Volcanic Energy by Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Gosvāmī Mahārāja and my beloved masters, about all of our Guru Varga. And then there's so many books about Śrīla Prabhupada, like our Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. There's so many. I'm reading right now Chasing Rhinos with the Swami. It's so much fun. Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
It's a wild
I
book.
love it.
Yeah.
But
and
it's great, that book, because it gives you a very good idea of what it was in those times. And I was a 13-year-old reading Lifetime magazine and looking and wishing that I would be there. So it took me a few years until my father let me go, because my mom said, he's such a good student, he'll let him go. So but what didn't get published, it was that actually all that movement at the park in San Francisco, they were waiting for Prabhupada, and that was the centerpiece. It was what everybody was looking for at that time, really. And of course, then time passes. So Shama Sundar has done a great job in his writing. I mean, I love it. I mean, he really gives you the idea of the atmosphere. You get the feeling. But
yeah.
I had to, yeah. I was just remembering. It was Bhakti Sridhar, Bhakti Rakshar Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, when he was a brahmachari, that you were reading from this book, and he said he didn't disagree with Jivera Sarupaho in Nitya Krishna Das.
Oh, that is Śrīla
But,
Bhakti Goswami Maharaj.
Yeah, Santa Kamud, yeah, that we met him. It was an amazing meeting. But
Yeah.
that I don't know Krishna. I don't know Krishna. But I do know this pure devotee.
Didn't he first he said that he said something
That's
like,
correct.
I don't fully agree, like they went out on a preaching trip, and he was a young boy at this time, and he said, I don't fully agree with like what Srila Krishnadas are. He said something like that, like I don't fully agree.
Krishna's Kaviraj has said, Jiva Swarupahoy, Krishna Nityadas. All jivas are eternal servants of Krishna. But I do not agree with this.
Yes.
And then Bhakti Sudhir Yachak
No.
Maharaj said, what are you, crazy?
Right. But he said,
And he was very upset though. He was like, he wasn't just like, are you crazy? But he was like, he he was upset, right? Like he was like, this is offensive also, right?
Yeah, so I thought it was apropos of what you were talking about and what we're saying, that we get inspiration. And they remind me also of a quote by Bhaktisiddhanta, that we really can know Krishna through the lips, the mouth, the words of the pure devotee. You know, it's actually Krishna. We can see him through our ears rather than try to see with our external senses. And so they're so powerful. They're waking us up.
Yes.
To, you know, who we really are. So yeah, this is very, very good. I think we're in a good path.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe after Kartik time we'll have to see like what would actually work practically, but maybe we could do 2 readings a day, and one reading would be, you know, like what our Guru Varga is wanting us to spend our time doing, like reading Srimad Bhagavatam, reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, you know, and like the process, their goal and everything. And then one part of the day would be reading about their lives. And I think both of those things would be like the perfect combination if we had some glories of our Guru Varga and some of what they're trying to give us, you know, like the main thing that they're pointing us to. I think that would be a really nice program if that just went on and on. And there's so much, there's like so much to read about our Guru Varga, and so I don't think we would ever run out. I think it would go like that. We could keep that going for a long time. And this book has been like what's been really inspiring me to want to do that also.
I found some of the words of the introduction that I was referring to.
Yes.
Great.
To know his life is not to know facts and figures, dates and events, but to know a reality that can sustain life, a joy that can transcend time. When we get a glimpse of his inner mood, his daily devotional practice, and his unique individuality, we will finally see the saint as a real person and not as an abstract concept. That real person is so amazing, so transcendental, that we see in him a glimpse of divinity. And then here's another sentence. What we cannot realize by reading many scriptures or listening to many eloquent lectures, we can realize by observing his conduct with the shraddha it deserves.
Beautiful.
Fantastic.
Wow. Put better than that. Wow, thank you. Yes, it's like it's like you actually finally get some tangible like connection rather than just like everything being all theoretical and far away, but it's actually like, yeah.
Like my Guru Mahārāja would say, you know, teacher by example. The true Acharya is not just a title inherited and what people fight about and, you know, so politics and all this stuff. It's over external things, but no, it's actually the conduct of that personality. And that's what really stays, you know. That's wonderful, those words. So this Devamayī Mātājī that wrote this sentences, Kishori's mother, or in this book, she just read.
No. It's Rukmini Didi and Rupamanjari Didi's mother.
Oh, wonderful.
And then also to hear him chanting japa, and like I listen to that in the mornings, and it's just like so great. It's a whole picture of him, and so this has been great.
Wonderful. Okay, so let's continue on with the reading, and I'll share my screen. And yeah. Thanks for bringing that up though, Satya Mataji, because and all of you, because it's really nice to actually, I don't know, just sometimes take some time to really appreciate what we're getting here. So we'll begin with reciting the invocation, the Mangala Charan, the Pranam mantra for Śrīla Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Gaura Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhakti Pramodaya Purī Gosvāmī Namine Devya Jnana Pradatre Cha prabhave janma janmani jnana vairagya dehaya shastra siddhanta samvide patitanam samudhare yati vesha dharaya vai pracharacharya karye cha ya guru kaya sarvada yatodhavasya kumarad bhagavat archane rati vaishnavanam sarvakritye dakshata paramathatha. I worship with deep adoration my gracious beloved divine master, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramoda Purī Vishnupad, the most dear associate of his lordship, Shri Gaurasundar. I humbly offer my prostrated obeisances unto the lotus feet of him who perpetually illuminates this dark world with the radiance of transcendental knowledge, who is the dearly beloved sovereign of my life, birth after birth, who is the veritable embodiment of sacred knowledge and renunciation, and the personification of all scriptural testimony. I offer obeisances to him who has adorned himself in the august robes of a mendicant to kindly redeem the fallen souls, unto he who is forever vigilant in both the practice and preaching of the Bhagavat Dharma. I offer obeisances to him in whom was manifest from childhood the divine loving attachment to the holy service of Lord Shri Krishna, just as was found in Shri Uddhav, and who thus possesses a wonderful proficiency in all the devotional rites of the Vaishnavas. Jai Śrīla Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Okay. One second, I'm just moving this out of the way. Okay. Alright. So we ended with his instructions to householders. And I mean, I found these instructions extremely relevant to me, Brahmachari. But yeah. And then now we are continuing on with chapter 5, which is Gopīnātha Gauḍīya Maṭha. This is our third day of reading chapter 5. We're reading, Fountain, what was it? Fountain of, here it is.
Affection.
Oh, Fountain of Affection. Oops, I lost the spot. Okay, now here it is. A Fountain of Affection. When Sri Gopinath Prabhu first went to Kalna, he forgot to take his mosquito net with him. He himself was unaware of this, but Mahārāja noticed it and told him, "If I were not a sannyasi, I would have asked you to sleep inside my own net." Even though Srila Purī Mahārāja does not want any personal service from his disciples, he is always very aware of their needs, and he showers them with the same kind of affection he received from Srila Prabhupada. Exceeding the affection of millions of fathers and mothers. Oh yeah, because he said that, right? That the affection of Srila Prabhupada exceeds the affection of millions of fathers and mothers. And he had that same kind of affection for his disciples. He is always concerned about their spiritual lives and their physical and emotional well-being. He says, "Every morning, as soon as I get up, I pray for everyone's well-being wherever they are." Kalyani Didi of South Africa remembers how when Gopinath Prabhu's brother was ill, Mahārāja was in great anxiety for him, and he would frequently inquire about him. Mahārāja said, "I am praying for his recovery." And indeed, he fully recovered. When his disciples or his godbrother's disciples come to offer their final Dandavat Pranam at the end of their visit, he chants the whole Nrsimha Kavacha mantra for their protection. How beautiful. He thoroughly reads every letter written to him and personally replies to each of them. He never forgets who anyone is or anything he knows about them, even if he sees them only for a few days every 2 or 3 years. Ramesh Prabhu of Costa Rica remembers the day when he felt so frustrated and depressed because of what had happened to him that he was wandering aimlessly in Mayapur. Suddenly, he saw a rickshaw coming from the opposite side with an old, unknown sannyasi on board, along with a young boy. Some people around Ramesh Prabhu said, "Here is Srila Purī Mahārāja." Suddenly, Ramesh Prabhu felt some deep inspiration in his heart, and he called out, "Purī Mahārāja, Purī Mahārāja." Okay, so he didn't even know who this was at the time. That sounds like Ramesh. He's now Ramesh Baba. That sounds like him, though. He's very spontaneous and like. So Maharaj looked at in his direction and folded his hands to offer his obeisances. Ramesh Prabhu, oh my God. Then Ramesh Prabhu ran towards Maharaj's rickshaw and offered his obeisances. Maharaj gave his blessings by touching Ramesh Prabhu's head. Then he asked very softly and affectionately. He said, "Baba, why this sad face?" Ramesh Prabhu almost felt like crying. Maharaj asked the young boy to make room for Ramesh Prabhu on the rickshaw. And the rickshaws, they only fit 2 people, so that must have been really squished. That was a new beginning in Ramesh Prabhu's life. He had never known so much joy. He had never known so much joy was in store for him. If someone calls the mat or writes a letter, then Maharaj is told about it, and he always asks about the well-being of that person and his or her family members, and gives them his blessings. He frequently talks affectionately about his disciples and his godbrother's disciples who are living far from him. If he does not see someone when he expects to see them, then he inquires from his disciples about whether everything is going well for that person. In the material world, it is inconceivable that anyone would be more loving, forgiving, and thoughtful than a mother or father. But seeing Maharaj, this is very easy to believe. Really, it's only personalities like this that are truly our ever well-wisher, like Srila Prabhupada would write at the end of every letter. Your ever well-wisher, no matter what, at every moment. He's always your well-wisher. For eternity also. Your ever well-wisher means for eternity, life after life. He increases his disciples' love for him through his incredible, affectionate dealings. When Dinabandhu Prabhu, who was young and new, made some mistakes, Maharaj chastised him. Later, when Dinabandhu Prabhu entered his room again, Maharaj would be so affectionate and say such sweet things to him that, according to Dinabandhu Prabhu, this would melt a stone. When Lalita Didi, one of his very dedicated and beloved disciples, brought him a piece of information he had asked for, he told her, "Ma, let there be flowers and sandalwood on your face." That's a Bengali expression of extreme appreciation. Maharaj calls his male disciples and the male disciples of his godbrothers, Baba. So Baba literally means father, but sons are also sometimes called Baba as an endearing term. We saw that in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Lots of times they'd call little Nimai Bap, which means father, but it's also an affectionate way for saying. He calls his female disciples and the female disciples of his godbrothers Ma. Ma means mother, but similarly, daughters are also sometimes called Ma as an endearing term. We see that in Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj's letters to Uma Didi. He always calls her Uma Ma. Those who have been called Baba or Ma by him will never forget it. The affection and sweetness conveyed by his tone of voice cannot even be described. Everything he does gives joy to his disciples. Sri Dinabandhu Prabhu mentions that every time they offer him prasad, he will say something that will make them laugh. Some interactions between him and his disciples are so sweet, intimate, and transcendental that they do not feel like sharing them with the whole world, as they want to cherish them in the jeweled recesses of their heart. Conduct of a sannyasi. Okay, so we read this is a big section of the book, his instructions to Grihastha devotees, and now his overflowing affection for his disciples, and now we're reading his conduct of a sannyasi. One thing that is noticeable in Mahārāja is his special treatment of the women devotees. All his life, he has been first a strict brahmachari, and later a strict sannyasi. Even in his advanced old age, he does not let a woman come to his room by herself. Regarding this, he has said, "We have to obey the instruction of Sriman Mahaprabhu." At the same time, he treats the women, his mothers, with the same kind of deep affection and honor that he showed to his own mother, Ramrangini Devi. If he has to chastise or discipline one of his female disciples, he later becomes very sweet and apologetic. Yashoda Didi remembers that once in October of 1997, during Mahāraja's Vyas Puja festival in Purī, when she was going very close to Mahārāja to offer her obeisances without knowing his mood, Mahārāja stopped her midway and said, "I am a sannyasi, therefore I do not want my female disciples to come very close to me or to my room alone." This is not a sign of disrespect to women. On the contrary, we should all respect all women, because each of us came from one of them. What to speak of devotee women? Still, as a sannyasi, I have to follow some rules. I'm not introducing these rules. I'm only following Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Srila Prabhupada was never alone with any woman, not even his sister. The room was full of young sannyasis and brahmacharis, and Yashoda Didi understood. Srila Guru Maharaj was not only instructing me, but he was also instructing his sannyasi disciples. This was his pastime, and I became an instrument of his will. He teaches and shows the same kind of renunciation in eating, sleeping, etc. He says a sannyasi is not just someone who is wearing a saffron cloth. A sannyasi should never forget the significance of his sannyas mantra. Yes, and if such kind of respect and honor could be given to women by all brahmacharis and sannyasis, then there would never be any instances of exploitation going on and all that. But anyways, so this is an ideal example for respect for women. When Karuna Didi, one of Srila Purī Mahārāja's senior disciples, went to see him in March of 1999, Mahārāja said, "Ma, you have come. I was thinking of you. I was calling you in my heart. I have something to discuss with you about the Maṭha." Then, in front of Gopīnātha Prabhu, he discussed some confidential matters about the future mission about the future of the mission that he had told very few people. Finally, he instructed her, "After I am gone, you should still find out what is going on in the Maṭha. Whether they tell you anything or not, you should still inquire. Then you should tell them your opinion, without reservation. I am giving you that right." Previously, Srila Purī Mahārāja had made her one of the trustees of the Gopīnātha Gauḍīya Maṭha. Mahārāja recognizes the various talents and abilities of his female disciples, and gives them the same kinds of service that he gives to his male disciples. He has given some of his female disciples a lifelong service of translating, writing, and publishing books. He asked Damayanti Didi of South Africa to write her thesis on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. He does not discriminate between his male disciples and his female disciples. But from everything he has said or written, it is clear that he expects the women to have a special role in general in society and in his Maṭha. He expects them to be caregivers, to have motherly love and affection, and to be self-sacrificing. The role of a mother is a unique and honorable role, and very different from any other role in human society. It is not an inferior role, only a different role. He expects his female disciples to have chastity, dignity, and humility, the same qualities he also expects from his male disciples. He has complained many times that women in society get abused and exploited by men. By his conduct, it is clear that he does not question his female disciples' spiritual propensity or intellectual ability. It's very nice to see that, because what's very common in temples and ashrams and stuff is that all the blame always just goes on the lady. If there's any kind of fall down in the mat or something like that, all the blame goes on the lady. And we see he did not. He didn't have that mood that, oh, it's just the women pulling down a brahmachari or something like that. But no, the Mahārāja teaches his brahmachari disciples not to have unnecessary contact with women devotees. At the same time, by his own conduct, he teaches them how to treat women with special tenderness. For example, while Mahārāja was having a serious conversation, a lady could be heard coughing in the background from time to time. No one was paying any attention because it was nothing serious. But Mahārāja suddenly stopped and said, "My mother has caught a cold." Then, with great concern, he inquired about her health and her children's health. There are thousands of examples like this. Mahārāja has also shown his special respect for his mothers in a very sweet way. Even though he is very displeased when his male disciples offer him sumptuous prasad, sometimes he makes concessions for his mothers. In 1998, Lalita Didi and Nivedita Didi came from Kolkata to stay in Purī for some time. Nivedita Didi, she had been serving Srila Purī Mahārāja's mission with great dedication, and now she wanted to spend her time exclusively in Mahārāja's association. When Lalita Didi and Nivedita Didi insisted that Mahārāja should have some rasgulas, he could not say no. They begged him so much to let him give him something. He asked them for they begged him so much to let them give him something. He asked them for such personal things as a soft pillow and a jinuk, a wide spoon, which he wouldn't ordinarily ask from anyone. This sweet pastime of their Gurudev made them cry and melted everyone's heart. Wow, beautiful. Intimate relationship with children. A 6-year-old boy was being chastised and spanked by his mother in a room downstairs at the Purī Maṭha. His mother could not tolerate his mischief. She could not tolerate his mischief anymore, which was locking devotees up inside bathrooms, throwing water on passerby from upstairs, from the upstairs veranda, etc. That's pretty bad. Somehow the boy managed to escape the room and run upstairs to enter Mahārāja's room. That's a good place to hide. A devotee was standing in the doorway and asked him, "What do you want?" "I want to complain to Guru Mahārāja about my mother." This little 6-year-old brat said the crying boy. The devotees immediately knew what was going on. 2 of them started playing with the boy on the veranda outside, which distracted him from his mission. Inside, Mahārāja heard everything and laughed, and he laughed a hearty laugh. He said, "This is Mother Yashoda's pastime with her child." No one feels more comfortable in Mahārāja's company than children. He shows special love and mercy for children, and they can feel that. He'll give attention to each and every child who comes to him. He'll put his hands on their heads and give them his blessings. I had that fortune of just being pat on the head once. He will have them sit on his bed, and they will feel happy to be close to him. Sometimes they will just sit on the windowsill while he is reading or chanting. Mahārāja treats children not only with affection, but with respect. He sees them as devotees with great possibilities. Children ask him spiritual questions all the time, and he is very happy to answer them. When 6-year-old Radhesham was visiting Gopīnātha Gauḍīya Maṭha in Purī, he would sit by the wall in Mahārāja's room. One day in town, he saw a set of deities of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, and he asked his mother to buy them for Mahārāja for his birthday, for his Vyas Puja. When he brought them to Mahārāja, Mahārāja told him what nice deities he had. Then Sripad Gopinath Prabhu told Mahārāja, "No, Mahārāja, he has brought these deities for you." Hearing this, Mahārāja immediately began to worship those deities, which made Radhesham very happy. As a 6-year-old boy, Radhesham. The meaning of disciple. Srila Purī Mahārāja's sweet, affectionate dealings with his disciples do not mean that Mahārāja has no expectations from his disciples regarding their devotional practices and their dedication to his mission. On the contrary, his expectations are high and uncompromising. He has said, "What is the meaning of the word shishya, disciple?" It means one who should be instructed, controlled, and disciplined by Guru. On the day before Śrīla Bhakti Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Vyas Puja Day, we read this article written by him, Guru Seva. It's one of my favorite articles on this topic. He talks about what it means to be a disciple. He said you can look it up in the dictionary, but here I see Guru is somewhere and the disciple is somewhere else, not just physical distance. He means, internally. I have some disciples like that. And when something needs to be done, none of them can be found. They will come and offer dandavats with great show, and that will be the end of the matter. Some come here to see me as if it is a few days' vacation. So even though he is affectionate and merciful to all his disciples, he distinguishes between those who are dedicated and those who are not so dedicated. He never cares about being glorified. In his disciples, he is always looking for Vaishnava qualities and an earnest desire to serve, chant, and discuss Hari Katha. Oh, Haribo, Rup Manjari Didi, and Rasaraj Prabhu, and Nitai, Haribo. Okay, so he never cares about being... So in his disciples, he is always looking for Vaishnava qualities and an earnest desire to serve, chant, and discuss Hari Katha. Okay. He doesn't just want to be glorified by his disciples and like that. No, he wants them to actually follow the instructions. Otherwise, it's not real glorification anyways, right? You can't actually properly glorify a pure devotee until you're following their instructions. Otherwise, the glorification will just be lip deep. Mahārāja's disciples have come from all over India, from all over the world, and from all walks of life. Among them are business people, homemakers, doctors, engineers, lawyers, scientists, writers, shopkeepers, and so on and so forth. Mahārāja sees them only as souls, as eternal servants of Krishna and his Gurudev, and of Śrīla Prabhupada. of his Gurudev, Śrīla Prabhupada. He expects only Vaishnavata from them, only service to Hari, Guru and Vaishnav. If Mahārāja thinks someone should be corrected, he does that privately. He would not criticize or chastise someone in front of everyone, but he'll praise someone in front of everyone, and when that person, oh sorry, wait, let me read that. He would not criticize or chastise someone in front of everyone, but he will praise someone in front of everyone when that person is not present. That's a really nice point. He'll praise someone in front of everyone when that person is not present, so that he doesn't, right, inflate their ego, their pride. It is very apparent that Mahārāja is only concerned about his disciples' spiritual well-being and not about pleasing anyone to boost their ego. That's really, if we really want to be somebody's friend in spiritual life, we won't try to increase their pride, or giving encouragement is one thing, but to over glorify somebody and make them feel, yeah, I'm a great person or something, then that's not helping them in spiritual life. That's not for their benefit. So his disciples may praise or criticize each other to them, but they cannot influence Mahārāja's thoughts or actions in any way. They all see that his praise and chastisement are very fair and consistent. There is not a tinge of any mundane consideration there. Yet his disciples are more happy to be chastised than praised. Somehow they feel that to be chastised, they have to have a closer relationship with him. And that's the quality of a pure devotee, is that when you're chastised by them, you don't feel like you feel the love in the chastisement, and so it's actually more sweet than getting a glorification. You feel that they have so much love for me, and so much, they feel so comfortable with me that they know that I won't leave them, or that I won't become, they trust me, and they only want my welfare. And so that, yeah, so the chastisement even makes you feel more love than glorification or something. When Mahārāja is pleased with the sincere efforts of some of his disciples, he repeatedly praises them to others. For example, he says about Sripad Gopīnātha Prabhu, "If I had 100 mouths, I could not praise Gopīnāth enough." By his actions also, he shows how much love he loves to have Gopīnātha Prabhu near him. He does not want Gopīnātha Prabhu to leave him and go anywhere else unless it is absolutely necessary. He says, "I tell Gopīnāth everything and ask for his opinion on everything. Gopīnāth understands my desires and remembers all the details of my instructions." Mahārāja tells his disciples that he is not their real guru, as he has offered them all at the lotus feet of Śrīla Prabhupada. At the same time, he holds himself, that's, anyways, I'm sorry, I'll stop talking. At the same time, he holds himself responsible if any of his disciples deviates from the path of Vaishnava practice. I was just thinking about, Ritvikism is like, it's almost like you become the guru, but you're not taking the responsibility. But no, you should, the mood of a guru is that I'm just offering this soul at the lotus feet of my Guru Mahārāja for the service of Radha and Krishna. So they don't have any ownership, a feeling of ownership over the disciple, like this is my property, my disciple. But they feel, no, this is the property of my Guru Mahārāja. But at the same time, they take full responsibility. Whereas in Ritvikism, they don't take the responsibility, but they get the benefits of being like a guru, in a way. Okay, sorry. Seeing the transgressions, so he holds himself responsible if any of his disciples deviates from the path of Vaishnava practice. Seeing the transgressions or the absence of Vaishnava mood in some of his disciples, many a time he has cried privately, or he has pleaded with them with great humility. Sometimes he has lamented that he has given Harinam to a few people who are unworthy of it, and that is why he is suffering. But he does not give up on anyone. He does not give up on anyone. Shripad Gopinath Prabhu remembers that one of his godbrothers went overseas and got married there. After a few years, he came with his 2 children to see Mahārāja in Purī. By talking to him, Mahārāja could understand that he had given up his spiritual practice and was being maintained luxuriously by his wife. After he left, Mahārāja started lamenting to Gopinath Prabhu about this. He said, "Mahamaya, the great illusory energy, has ruined his spiritual life completely." But Mahārāja said he himself was actually responsible for this, since he was his guru. Oof, that's really heavy actually, because we see a guru how much sorrow they feel when we aren't being proper disciples. This gives them distress. And so actually, if we aren't even making any endeavor and we're not taking seriously Shri Guru's instructions to us like that, then it's actually an offense because we're actually making them feel pain. Maharaj said that he himself was actually responsible for this, since he was his guru. He quoted the famous verse, Guru Nasasyat, Swajano Nasasyat, from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.18. Then he told Gopinath Prabhu, "Call him back again. I want to talk to him some more." When the disciple came back again, Mahārāja talked to him for a long time about the spiritual practice of a Vaishnav. Then he practically pleaded with him with great humility and sincerity. "Baba, please do not give this up again." In case some of Mahārāja's disciples neglect their devotional practices and their guru's mission because of their material attraction and their family relationships, he says, "In this world, we get attached to the wrong things, thinking that by loving some people or some things, we will be happy. But this is a great mistake. Ultimately, these objects of our affection and attention will only cause us suffering." So he has indicated that those who stay away from Guru and his mission due to some other interests are actually depriving themselves of their true happiness. On the occasion of the disappearance festival of Śrīla Prabhupada, he wrote, "One who felt deep love for the lotus feet of Sri Guru, immersed oneself in the ocean of pure devotional Harikatha of Sri Guru, and made all efforts in one's own conduct and preaching to fulfill the desire of Sri Guru, was fortunate enough to have the joy of union, the joy of an intimate relationship when Sri Guru was manifested in this world. It is in the heart of such a person that today, after the disappearance of Sri Guru, the intense pain of separation burns. It is the core of that heart which is crying. It is those eyes which are shedding tears like the monsoon rain. Alas, alas, today that heart is restless and desperate to drink the nectar of Harikatha coming from the lotus mouth of Sri Guru." Mahārāja has made it clear by his instructions that a disciple is supposed to listen to Gurudev and then fulfill Gurudev's desires by obeying his orders. In Gurudev's absence, one can take instruction from the representatives of Gurudev. But one should not whimsically start some project just because one feels like it. Sometimes disciples with an independent mood think of something on their own, and having made up their minds about it, they inform Gurudev of what they are about to do and simply ask for his blessings. Later, they may think that they have done something to please Gurudev, but this is self-deception. Also, one should understand that Gurudev would not give the same order to everyone. If Gurudev orders one disciple to write books and glorifies this service, that does not mean everyone should write books. That's an important point regarding letters. Sometimes we see many letters that Srila Prabhupada wrote, or that different acharyas wrote, and but we should understand that they wrote them for that disciple. There's some instructions in there that are universal, but we shouldn't always take everything that they write to each disciple to be an instruction for us specifically. If he orders another disciple to build a temple and install deities there, this does not mean everyone can do that. When Sri Jagadish Prabhu asked Mahārāja what his service would be, Mahārāja told him, "Try to serve the Vaishnavas." When Lalita Didi of South Africa asked Mahārāja the same question, Mahārāja said, "Chant Hare Krishna and mind your own business." If one sincerely wants to serve Gurudev's mission, one should try to find out from Gurudev and his close associates what one should do, instead of determining one's own service. Even when one does not have any particular service to do, if one listens to Gurudev's Vani with deep attention and meditates on it, one can fill one's day and one's life by rendering some devotional service to fulfill Gurudev's desire. No one should feel they have any time to waste or the need for distractions. There is no question of complacency in the life of a devotee. Mahārāja always says, "Nishvase vishvasne." Nishvase vishvasne. One cannot trust one's breath because it may be the last breath. Wow. On the other hand, even when one tries to fulfill Gurudev's desire, one will find many obstacles on one's path. But if one is very determined to overcome them, then by Gurudev's blessings, one will achieve one's goal. Mahārāja says, "Shreyansi bahu vignani." Many obstacles arise when one tries to do something good. Wow, that's a very nice saying. Shreyansi bahu vignani. Many obstacles arise when one tries to do something good. So we shouldn't... So if you're doing something good and you're facing obstacles, it doesn't mean that it's going wrong. It's going right. You should expect that to happen. And not lose hope and like, oh, what am I doing wrong? Does Krishna have, is Krishna not supporting me? Haribol Sudevi Didi. Dandavat Pranas. Mahārāja also wants his disciples to stay within the limits of their present realizations and devotional qualifications. Yes. When some disciples came from the West and inquired from him about such confidential matters as Siddha Pranali, Srila Purī Mahārāja was very displeased. He said that Srila Prabhupada would never tolerate anadikar charcha, engagement in something beyond one's understanding and spiritual qualifications. He asked why these disciples, who could not even properly practice their daily devotional bhajan and could not chant the recommended rounds of japa, should concern themselves with such high and confidential devotional process. He remarked that those who have such propensities are not devotees, but kapatis, they are imposters. I'm just thinking, like, what is it? Like when there's high topics of Radha and Krishna's Leela and stuff, and somebody who's very unqualified starts trying to get into all these things, then why are they doing it? Are they discussing those things because they're so eager to serve those pastimes, or they want to use those pastimes for their own enjoyment? It's like entertainment for them. So that's why it's because the meaning of being a devotee is only wanting to serve Krishna and make Krishna happy. But by trying to exploit the pastimes of Radha and Krishna by enjoying them, then that's the complete opposite. And then you're an imposter, a kapati. He wants his disciples to remember that devotion develops through krama, through stages. In this regard, he quotes the following verses. Kono bhage kono jivera shraddha jadi hoy, tobe she jiva sadhu sangha koroy, sadhu sangha hoite hoy shravana kirtan, साधन भक्ति होय सर्वानर्थ निवर्तन अनर्थ निवृत्ति होइले भक्ति निष्ठा होइते श्रवणादि रुचि उपजय रुचि होइते भक्ति होय आसक्ति प्रचुर आसक्ति होइते चित्ते जन्मे आसक्ति होइते चित्ते जन्मे कृष्ण प्रीत्यंकुर সেই রাতি গাঢ় হইলে ধরে প্রেম নাম সে প্রেমা প্রয়োজন সর্বানন্দ ধাম Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 23 verses 9 to 13. If by good fortune a living entity develops faith in Krishna, that living entity begins to associate with devotees. When one is encouraged in devotional service by the association of devotees, one becomes free from all unwanted contamination by following the regulative principles and chanting and hearing. When one is freed from all unwanted contamination, one advances with firm faith. When firm faith in devotional service awakens, a taste for hearing and chanting also awakens. After taste is awakened, a deep attachment arises, and from that attachment, the seed of love for Krishna grows in the heart. When that ecstatic emotional stage intensifies, it is called love of Godhead. Such love is life's ultimate goal and the reservoir of all pleasure. In this connection, he also refers to the verse Adau Shraddha in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Purva, chapter 4, verses 15 to 16, as well as the verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter 5, verses 23 to 26. Recommended reading for devotees. Srila Purī Mahārāja has also cautioned his disciples not to read all kinds of devotional books. He notes that Srila Prabhupada did not even allow new devotees to read the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. What to speak of the books by the 6 Gosvāmīs narrating the conjugal pastimes of Shri Radha Krishna? He says, if one reads these books before one is very advanced, one will only ruin one's own spiritual life. He has seen examples of this. The prescribed book list for Srila Purī Mahārāja's disciples contains Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the pastimes of Mahārāja Bharat, Mahārāja Ambarish, Dhruva Mahārāja, and Prahlād Mahārāja, as well as the 11th and 12th cantos. Then he also recommends Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Srila Rupa Goswami's Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Upadeshamrita, and Srila Narottam Das Thakur's Prarthana and Prem Bhakti Chandrika, and all the books by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, especially Sharanagati and Jaiva Dharma, and Srila Prabhupada's biography and instructions. He also wants his disciples to read books published by his godbrothers Mats, in particular books by Srila Sridhar Maharaj, English translations by Srila Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and books written or published by Srila Bhakti Balavat Maharaj, especially his Gaur Parashad Charitavali, collected lives of Mahaprabhu's associates. Maharaj wants those devotees who are connected with writing, translating, or publishing of books to read or have a working knowledge of all the Gaudiya Vaishnava scriptures and reference books, such as the Upanishads, the Puranas, books about places of pilgrimage, commentaries on scripture, etc. Achar and Prachar in the Mat. Yeah, and just regarding the pastimes, of course, those pastimes are like, the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, like that is what will purify us of the desire for, of lust and all that. But if we read those pastimes with faith, if we don't have real shraddha in them, right? That's what it says in that verse. Nashraddhanvito nashunayad atavarnayedva. Shraddhanvito, infused with faith. And if we're just reading them for entertainment and taking them cheaply, then that won't destroy the hridrog of lust in our hearts. So we have to be very, not take them cheaply, but we have to read them with great honor, and knowing that this is what my goal is to serve these pastimes, not just, sorry, I just wanted to. Okay, achar and prachar in the mat. Oh, whoops, I just see a comment, I didn't notice. Regarding that point in the beginning that we were reading, I just noticed Kishore Krishna's comment here. He said that Śrīla Bhakti Purī Gosvāmī Maharaj, when somebody was asking him about Siddha Pranali, then he asked which Siddha? Siddha potato or Siddha tapioca? Because Siddha in Bengali means boiled. So he's like, Siddha potato or Siddha tapioca? That's great. Okay. Achar and prachar in the mat. Sri Amalendu Saha, a regular visitor to the Mayapur mat, was so inspired by the divinity of Srila Purī Mahārāja and the devotional environment in his mat that he wrote an article about it, Amar Dekha Ek Jon Mahapurush. And he wrote that article in the Bhagavad Dharma, the Bengali Bhagavad Dharma magazine, on October 16, 1996. Many guests who have come to Gopīnātha Gauḍīya Maṭha have commented on the devotional environment there. Of course, there is no question of any mundane entertainment or mundane habits in a Vaishnav mat. But on entering Gopīnātha Gauḍīya Maṭha, one cannot help noticing the prevailing service-oriented mood. All the devotees are always friendly, cheerful, and helpful. Yet, there is no mundane chatting or loud talk or laziness. Everyone is always happily engaged in their own service in a peaceful mood. It is a devotion-inspiring place, which at the same time inspires a feeling of great security and peace that is very rare to find in this world. If one goes there with a feeling of faith and reverence, then one feels warm acceptance regardless of one's spiritual status or affiliation. This is especially true in temples where there's a pure devotee present. But then very often we find that after the pure devotee leaves, then that's all kind of, not all the time, but most of the time it seems like that's what happens. Srila Purī Mahārāja does not want Sri Gopīnātha Gauḍīya Maṭha to be just an institution or a collection of buildings. In his heart, he is always cherishing the memory of his beloved Gauḍīya Maṭha when Śrīla Prabhupada was manifested in this world. He remembers the purity, the preaching spirit, the simplicity, and the love and affection among the God brothers who are following the lotus feet of Sri Guru. His desire is to have that kind of environment. His desire is to have a mat where the residents will follow the highest standard of devotional practice as was taught by Śrīla Prabhupada himself. He wants his disciples to dedicate their lives 100% to preaching the message of Sriman Mahaprabhu. But he wants them to preach through their own conduct. He wants the personal character and conduct of his disciples to be consistent with the message of Sri Gauḍīya Maṭha. He is too humble to ask his disciples to follow his own example of purity and dedication. He's too humble to ask his disciples to follow his own example of purity and dedication. He recalls what Śrīla Prabhupada said. So it's not that he's like bossing or be like you have to follow my standard, I guess. Let's see what he says. He recalls what Śrīla Prabhupada said. Śrīla Prabhupada used to say he did not take birth just to become a carpenter and deal with bricks, wood, and stones. It is not enough to build temples and install deities there, and then with the excuse of serving those deities to make arrangements for our own living, eating, and sense gratification. If, in those buildings, there are both prachar, preaching, and achar, personal conduct supported by the Vaishnava concept, then that will give real happiness to Sri Hari, Guru, and the Vaishnavas. Sriman Mahaprabhu has instructed us to benefit others by first making our own life successful by following devotional practice. Preaching without consistent personal example has no value. If the mats and temples manifest themselves as temples of transcendental instruction conducted by preachers with ideal behavior and practice, then the adversities of this world will be eradicated. Wow, wonderful instructions. It is Srila Purī Mahārāja's desire that inside the mat, everyone must be given the respect that is due to them. Brahmacharis will respect sannyasis. Brahmacharis and sannyasis will respect senior Vaishnavas. And men will respect women. In this way, everyone will give everyone else appropriate respect. Mahārāja says, when respect is not given where it is due, Mahaprabhu cannot tolerate that. He says in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Maryada Lankan Ami na paro sahite. I cannot tolerate transgressions of the standard etiquette of giving appropriate respect. Just to teach us, this example is given in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Mahaprabhu was angry at Jagadananda Pandit for giving instruction to Sri Sanatana Gosvāmī, he told Sri Sanatana Gosvāmī, Jaga, who was born yesterday, has the audacity to give you instruction? That is when Jagadananda was instructing Sanatana Gosvāmī that maybe he shouldn't stay there in Puri because Mahaprabhu was embracing him and he had all these sores all over his body that were oozing pus and like that. And so he said, yeah, maybe you leave here so that Mahaprabhu doesn't touch you. So Jaga, who was born yesterday, has the audacity to give you instruction. Of course, this is their pastime only to teach us. If we give everyone their due respect, the Supreme Lord will be pleased with us. And actually, this is the most important point in our spiritual life. Because what is the definition of somebody who's reached the stage of Madhyam Adhikar? The definition of becoming a Vaishnava is that you know how to honor, when you come to the level of intermediate Vaishnava, is that you're able to honor everyone according to their due. And that's why in that song, Gurudev Kripa Bandhu Diya, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes that only Shakale Saman Korite Shakati Dehonata Jata Jata Tabe to Gaibo Harinama Suke Aparadhabe Hata. We will only feel happiness when we chant. We'll only be able to chant Harinam and actually get some taste from it when we are properly honoring all Vaishnavas according to their due, not giving somebody too much honor or too little honor. We have to know accordingly, jata jata. And when we are able to do this, then we'll be able to chant Harinam happily because all our offenses will be dispelled. But it's because of these offenses that we aren't reaching the Madhyam stage and that we're not getting taste in chanting Harinam. I remember, I think Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj one time said, I heard this from Ban Maharaj, but it was when I was a teenager. He said some, I think he was quoting Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj. I might be getting this wrong, but he said, you don't even need to worry so much about doing this and that and chanting so many rounds. Just do not make aparad, and then everything will happen naturally. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes in one commentary on Ambarish Maharaj that for those who have not made offenses, there's no aparad, then they don't have to go through the whole long process of Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishta Ruchiya, Sakti Bhav. Like for them, there's just two stages. It's very simple path. It's Nam Grahan, chanting the holy name, and Vaikuntha Arohan, ascending to Vaikuntha. Because the holy name is that powerful that it, just by chanting it, it's directly Krishna himself. So it immediately brings us to the spiritual world. It destroys all sins and brings us to Vaikuntha immediately, without, like in an instant. But the only thing, the whole reason why we have this long process and all these, like why it's this long journey that we have to go on is because of aparad. So if we could just refrain from making aparad, everything will be right in our spiritual lives. So, sorry, I went on my tangent there. Tolerance and forgiveness. Due to the nature of this material world, where even Sriman Mahaprabhu was criticized, a Param Bhagavat Vaishnav like Śrīla Purī Mahārāja has also been criticized once or twice. His god brothers and their disciples were very disturbed about this, what to speak of his own disciples. When he saw in his mat how outraged his disciples were, he asked them to calm down and not to give vent to their anger. When they told him what had angered them, what was said about him to belittle his position, he smiled and said, "Is that what they said? Why, I think they have given me a great honor. I did not think I even deserved this much importance." Then he asked them, I think I remember hearing about this. Somebody said that Srila Bhakti Purī Gosvāmī Maharaj was a Kanishta Vaishnav. And then, if I'm remembering correctly, and then Srila Purī Maharaj said, "Wow, this is a great honor, because a Kanishta Vaishnav at least has some faith in Pujam Yashadayi, and worshipping the Sri Vigraha. So they have some faith, They say that. I'm honored to be considered a Kanishta Vaishnav." That was his humility. So then he asked them to not pick a fight about this, not to argue or debate, but to keep themselves busy with their service alone. Mahārāja also says, "Vaishnavas do not blame others, but only blame themselves. Those who are devotees do not persecute others. Those who want to worship Lord Hari have to pay great attention to their own character. The Supreme Lord himself has said that lust and anger are the two most fearsome enemies." By his own words and actions, he is also teaching his disciples the importance of tolerance and forgiveness. A devotee always thinks, "I am protected by Krishna. If some negative waves come in my direction, that is for my own good. If someone has tried to belittle me, hurt me, or harm me in any way, then that person should be forgiven both by me and the Supreme Lord. There is already too much suffering in this world. Not a drop of that suffering should be increased on my account." Moreover, a forgiving heart is a peaceful and energetic heart that can fully concentrate on devotional service. Throughout his life, he has dealt with injustice towards him with humility, tolerance, and extraordinary self-restraint. He does not criticize or express anger. At the same time, he has already been extremely determined to do what he thinks is right. So at the same time, he's not persuaded or changed. He still will do what he thinks is right. But at the same time, he's not. Wow. But if we just try to be humble, like not proper humility, but if we just try to be humble and tolerant and like that, but it's not Vaishnav humility and not Vaishnav tolerance, then all it will do is break our self-confidence and make us feel like this humility and tolerance has to be coming from the right place, and then it's otherwise it will just and that humility and tolerance comes from our connection with, you don't take anything personally or whatever, because we have full hope that Shri Guru is there to take care of us, and that that any of our faults was not going to push them away from us. It's going to make them feel more of a need to give their mercy to us. And so if the humility and tolerance is coming from that place in connection with Shri Guru and with the Vaishnavas, then any kind of criticism and stuff like that doesn't break our self-confidence and like that. But it's anyways, just a thought that came to my mind. Someone is crying in front of Krishna. Srila Purī Mahārāja does not want his disciples... Oh, I see it. Let's see first, before I read the section, let's see how long this section is. Because yesterday I Vaishnav Seva. Okay, well, we'll read this section on Vaishnav Seva and then stop. Okay. That will take like 5 minutes. Okay. Someone is crying in front of Krishna. Srila Purī Mahārāja does not want his disciples to be overly judgmental of others. Instead, he wants them to treat others with genuine sympathy and respect. He says, as soon as we see someone has fallen down, we should not pass judgment on that person, because who knows how much he is crying in front of Krishna and asking for his forgiveness. Wow, that is such an important point. I'm going to reread that. As soon as we see someone has fallen down, we should not pass judgment on that person, because who knows how much he is crying in front of Krishna and asking for his forgiveness. We can't see what's going on inside in somebody's heart. Without considering that, we may say something harsh or cruel. Vaishnav Seva. Even if externally somebody doesn't seem like they're feeling remorseful or anything, we can't tell what's actually going on in their heart when they're by themselves. Maybe they're very insecure and they have to show that they're not feeling remorseful, but nobody can know, actually, no matter what, if they're feeling remorseful inside. So we should never pass judgment. Vaishnav Seva. Once some disciples of one of Srila Purī Mahārāja's godbrothers came to have his darshan. Later, he asked his disciple whether the guests had been served prasad yet. They informed him that prasad was not ready yet, but would be in a few minutes. He told them, "These are very dear disciples of my godbrother, and you are making them wait for prasad?" Through his own conduct, Srila Purī Mahārāja has demonstrated the highest standard of Vaishnav Seva to his disciples. That was for his godnephews. He was feeling that, urgency and of serving them nicely. He is very concerned that the guests in the mat must be treated properly. Vaishnavas should be welcomed when they arrived. They should be treated with utmost respect, affection, and consideration during their stay. And they should be seen off when they depart, again with affection and reverence. No guest is to be considered too insignificant for this treatment. As soon as guests enter Srila Purī Mahārāja's room, they see his smiling and happy face. He makes them feel welcome and asks after their well-being. When senior Vaishnavas or his godbrothers come, Srila Purī Mahārāja makes sure that they are treated with the utmost respect and care. It is evident from his mood and conduct that he does not think any amount of hospitality and reverence is good enough for them. Sri Jagadish Prabhu remembers that when he first arrived at Gopīnātha Gauḍīya Maṭha, Mahārāja was in poor health. Sri Jagadish Prabhu was wondering if his visit would be an imposition. But to his surprise, Mahārāja asked him where he was staying and if he was comfortable. Indeed, Mahārāja seemed quite concerned about his comfort as a newcomer to the mat. Sri Jagadish Prabhu thought, why should he be concerned about me, a healthy young Western traveler? He soon realized Mahārāja's mood. Once Srila Purī Mahārāja's godbrother, Sri Madan Mohan Prabhu, came to visit him. So Mahārāja instructed his disciples to serve him prasad in Mahārāja's room. Then he asked Sripad Gopīnātha Prabhu to go buy some sweet yogurt, some mishti doi, and he was about to give him some money. Sripad Gopīnātha Prabhu said, "I have money, Mahārāja." But Mahārāja said, "A Vaishnav has come to me. I should do something myself to serve him." Sripad Gopīnātha Prabhu has recorded the following incident in his diary. In our mat, by tradition, every year we serve prasad to the devotees on Mayapur Dham Parikrama, organized by Sri Chaitanya Gauḍīya Maṭha on Dwadashi Day. In 1997, Srila Guru Maharaj called me and asked me, What prasad are you going to serve? What prasad are you going to serve on Dwadashi? After being instructed by Srila Guru Maharaj and Shripad Bodhayan Maharaj, on the evening of Akadashi, Shripad Tarak Prabhu and I went to see Pujapad Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Maharaj to submit our invitation for the next day. Then Srila Tirtha Maharaj said, "Why everyone? Only the residents of the Math will go there. About 700 householders have joined us. It will be too much trouble for you to serve them all." We returned to the Math and reported this to Srila Guru Maharaj. He said, "Hoyachen, hoiben, Prabhur Jato Das, Tasabar Charan Vandi Dante Kori Ghas." To the feet of those who have become and of those who will become the servants of my Lord, I offer my obeisances holding a straw in my teeth. So in the past and in the future, I offer my pranam to all Vaishnavas, those who were and those who will be Vaishnavas. Even in the future, I'm offering pranams to them. Those who have come to join the Parikrama will also become Vaishnavas one day. I am at the end of my life, and I want to accept prasad with everyone. Therefore, you go back to Mahārāja and request him to bring all of them to accept prasad in our mat. Okay, we're at the end now. Many similar incidents have occurred. When invited Vaishnavas come to the mat on a holy occasion, Srila Purī Maharaj does not take prasad until they have all taken prasad. Vaishnavas who arrive at the mat always feel overwhelmed by his inconceivably humble, affectionate, and reverent treatment. Wow. Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai. Alright, so we will finish up. There's not so much left over in this chapter, so we'll finish up this chapter, and then we will read the last chapter. Well, not the last chapter. I think we'll read about the disappearance of Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Maharaj, which happened right when this book was finished, I think, right when it was about to go to publication, to press. I think we read that, right? And then Srila Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Maharaj entered Nitya Lila, and so that chapter was added later on. So we'll read that chapter tomorrow. Just looking at the comments. Oh, did I post a link to the PDF of this book? I don't think I did. Oh my god, I completely forgot. You know what? I'm going to do it right this moment. Otherwise, I will forget again. Oops. So if anybody's in our daily Chaitanya Bhagavat group, you will get the PDF for this. If you'd like to join the Chaitanya Bhagavat group, then you can go to vineofdevotion.com and see the section Chaitanya Bhagavat. Oh no, vineofdevotion.com/CB, and then you'll get the link to join the group. Alright. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Just made a chunk.
On the daily Chaitanya Bhagavat WhatsApp group, it says you were recording audio.
Huh? Recording audio in the daily
Yes.
Chaitanya Bhagavat group?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, whoops. I don't know why I turned that on. Okay, thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, it's just recording that whole kirtan. All right. I was sending a voice message that whole time by accident. All right, Kishore, take it away.
Jai Sabarikar Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Kan Harika Giridhari Gopīnātha Radha Vinod Vihari Radhanath Radharaman Vihari Radhamara Vishishima Prabhu Radha Gopīnātha Ji Ki Jai. Sri
Jai.
Govinda Gopīnātha Madan Mohan Ji Ki Jai. Sri Ananta Vasudev Papa Golokanath Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Paramaham Sabri Vrajachari Varya Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vigyan Shri Bharati Gosvāmī Guru Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Paramaham Sabri Vrajachari Varya Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Shri Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja Paripavan Gurudev Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Balabhtirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Shri Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Shri Vikram Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vaibhava Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Mahāmahopadesha Pratna Vidyalankara Shishiman Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Rakshak Shri Dhari Dev Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Vedanta Swami Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Daita Mara Gosvāmī Param Guru Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja Param Gurudev Acharya Keshri Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Astotrashta Shishiman Jaguruguru Shri Varshabhanavi Daitadas Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Saprikar Shila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Thakur Ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Mahaparam Bhagavad Paravar Paramahamsa Ashtotrashta Shishiman Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Par Saptam Gosvāmī Ashtotrashta Shishiman Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Mahārāja Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Pravishta Om Vishnu Par Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Ashtotrashta Shishiman Shri Jagannath Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai. Surya Kundavasi Siddha Shilamad Sudan Das Babaji Mahārāja Ki Jai. Sri Uddhavadas Udaran Das Ki Jai. Gurvidan Acharya Shishiman Balidev Bhushan Prabhu Ki Jai. Mahamahopadhyaya Rasika Shiromani Shila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur Pari Ki Jai. Shila Rasikananda Murari Dev Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai. Shila Ramachandra Kaviraj Ki Jai. Shila Chandas Thakur Ki Jai. Shila Hari Sharkar Thakur Ki Jai. Shila Narottam Das Thakur Mahārāja Srinivasa Acharya Shyamananda Pandit Prabhu Trai Ki Jai. Sri Śrīla Krishna Das Kaviraj Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai. Yasavatara Prika Vishal Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Ashtakabiraj Vasudha Janava Nityananda Durashagopal Shri Chaushati Mahanta Ki Jai. Jai Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shar Gosvāmī Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Swarup Damdara Yanamananda Lokanath Bhagarabha Adhikar Parishad Vrind Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शिल ईश्वर पुरी गोस्वामी पार की जय। शिल माधवेंद्र पुरी गोस्वामी पार की जय। श्री अंतरदीप मायापुर सिमंदीप गोद्रुमदीप मध्यदीप कलुदीप ऋतुदीप जानुदीप मातृद्रुमादीप रुद्रादीप मात्मक श्री नवदीप धाम की जय। श्री एक चक्र धाम की जय। श्री शांतिपुर धाम की जय। श्री गौर चंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री श्री गौर गदाधर की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ गोपी कपा गौ गिरि गोवर्धन वर्षात्मक श्री ब्रज मंडल धाम की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंग सखी यमुना सखी तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। वृषभानुनंदिनी श्रीमती राधा रानी ठाकुरानी की जय। Śrīlalita Vishaka Chitra Champakalata Tungividya Induleka Rangdevi Sudevi Adi Sakhi Vrind ki jai. Shri Ananga Prema Manjalali Shri Rupalanga Raghavila Saguna Rati Kasturi Kamala Nayanamani Adi Manjari Vrind ki jai. Shri Vinod Manjari ki jai. Shri Palash Manjari ki jai. Shrimati Vrind Devi ki jai. Shri Bhagavati Purnamas Yugamaya Devi ki jai. Shri Gopishwar Sarshiv Mahadev ki jai. Radha Parankita Dham Shri Vrindavan ki jai. Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Nilamadhav Ji ki jai. Shri Tatta Gopīnātha ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Purushottam Kshetra Mandal Nilachal Dham ki jai. Sarva Vikramira Shankare Bhakta Vikraminasha Shri Nrsimha Dev ki jai. Bhaktaraj Bhakta Pravara Shri Prahlad Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Nrsimha Dev ki jai. Chaitari Ram Chari Sambradai Chari Acharya ki jai. Sri Madhvar Manoja Vishnu Swami Nimbaditya Chari Acharya ki jai. Akramantara Shri Chaitanya Mar ki jai. Sri Gopīnātha Gauḍīya ki jai. Sri Gauḍīya Vrind ki jai. Anantara Shri Mad Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita Chaitanya Charitamrita Chaitanya Bhagavat Jaiva Dharma Adi Sarva Gauriya Vaishnava Grantha Vrind ki jai. त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय. त्रिभुवन मंगल श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन धर्म की जय. कलकेर प्रेमदान श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. त्रिभुवन मंगल धन्य कलितर ब्रह्म श्री हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. महामंत्र की जय. श्री आनंद पुरी वैष्णव वृंद की जय. Shri Samagata Gaura Bhakti Vrind ki jai. Shri Shamad Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Thakur ki jai. Shri A Life of Devotion, the Holy Biography of Om Vishnupad Shri Shamad Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Srimati Devamayī Mātājī ki jai. Shri Nitaya Gaura Pramanande Hare Hare Bol.
Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyaye Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to read with all of you. And I'm just one thing. Rukmini Didi mentions that if any devotee is ever in the vicinity of North Kolkata and can help them with the physical books of this Life of Devotion, they'd be most grateful. So there's a big stock of these books of Life of Devotion there in Kolkata, and yeah, if anybody's ever traveling back to America from Kolkata or any other part of the world, and if there's anyways, you can, or anything, or maybe also bring some books from Kolkata to Mayapur, to Navadvip also, right? If anybody's able to help, then you can get in touch with me. And then I can put you in touch with Rukmini Didi, or if you know her directly, you can get in touch with her. Haribol Krishnamai Didi. Okay. Oh, you just came back from there. Oh, okay. Oh. I'm just looking really quickly. Okay, if anybody has to go, Dandavat Pranams, Satya Mātājī, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mātājī, Rukmini Didi, Kishore Prabhu, Krishnamai Didi, and Champak Mātājī. I didn't see you before. Haribol. And yeah, Dandavat Pranams to all of you here on Zoom, and let me look on YouTube and Facebook. There's Raseshwari Mātājī, Ganga Mātājī, Vidyalalasa Didi. Vidyalalasa Didi says, the biography of our acharyas is so inspiring and empowering. It motivates us to bring so many positive changes in our life. Amen to that. Rup Manjari Didi and Rasaraj Prabhu and Nitai. Dandavat Pranams to you three. Sudevi Didi. I'm just looking. I don't know what your name is. Jimbo Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I don't. Yeah, so if you need the PDF, you can send me a message on WhatsApp if you're not on the group. Sorry, you can send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and I can send it to you. Vidya Lala Sudhiri, I don't know about that that topic about ISKCON's paper about my Gurudev. I don't know anything about that, so I can't comment on that.
I know very little about that. No, the reason was Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj didn't reject this person for defending Gurudev. What he rejected him for was he was criticizing Prabhupada in regards to this. That's as far as my knowledge on this note.
Yeah, and I remember hearing some a very good friend, a very close friend of mine who is a disciple of Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj. She told me about an instance where Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Puri Goswami Maharaj was actually defending my Gurudev to somebody who said some not nice things about my Gurudev, and he was actually defending my Gurudev and like that. So we see the opposite of that. Yes.
Śrīla Guru Maharaj wrote a letter, so there was some kind of a dispute between ISKCON and your Gurudev, and Śrīla Guru Maharaj wrote a letter to each party praising the other party. And the letter about your Gurudev, my mother was present in the Math, and he had her translate the letter into English. So that's how she knew how much respect he has for your Gurudev. So,
Oh wow.
so but he did say, "Do not involve me in your quarrel."
Yes.
So
Okay, thank you
what
for
I
clarifying.
remember about it.
Okay. Wow, I'm glad you're here for clarifying that. Thank you.
There's a video of Śrīla Bhakti Pramoda Puri Maharaj giving, he was giving a darshan, very nice darshan. He spoke a lot of nice harikta, and at the end of it, and he said, he said to criticize Narayan Maharaj is Vaishnava Parad, and I've never done so, and I wouldn't never do so because that would be Vaishnava Parad.
Nice.
Yeah,
Right.
I have a series of videos like that. They were done by his disciple, and he seems to wants to get Srila Gurudev Narayan Maharaj and like condemn them as a sahaja. Maharaj strongly said no. Might be the same video, but I remember clearly said no. He's such a scholar of Bhakti Shastra. No way that he's, how dare you, kind of like, but he said it, in a nice way, but he was very firm about it. So
Yeah, he said Ed in the video. He spoke about how chanting is very important and that we have to chant Harinam, become qualified. Then we can talk about Sirpanali and all these things. And that at the end of the video, he was saying Narayan Maharaj is a Pandit, but he talks about the highest realm of all these things. I'm not objecting that he does this, but people have to have certain qualifications. And then
something
he said,
about first deserved. Is I have that video.
Yeah. Yes. He used that. He said that phrase: first deserve, then desire. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
And then he told the devotee, please explain to him properly that I have not criticized Narayan Maharaj, and I would never do so because that would be Vaishnava Parad. I've known him since he joined the temple. I've also taken many books from him. And then he asked his servant there, what book have I taken from him? Ah, yes, Bhajan Rahasya. I've taken Bhajan Rahasya.
Very nice. Thanks for clarifying that. That's very good to know. All right, Dandavat Pranams. Oh, were you about to say something? Very Hari Prabhu?
Oh no, sorry, I sound a little groggy, but I'm still under in a lot of pain, and the operation didn't go so well. So, but I couldn't help myself sometimes to talk and appreciate your reading and like that. So.
I hope you fully recover very soon. I didn't realize.
Yeah, they kind of fumbled the operation. I mean, somehow it was successful, but they injured me, and so now I'm under another doctor, and tomorrow I have to go check. But anyhow, I don't want to make a concern about my body, but it's just that if I sound a little funny, excuse me, but it's I'm on drugs.
No,
I'm sorry.
I pray that you recover very soon. I think everybody here wishes that. So
Thank you.
Dandavat pranams, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow for reading. All right. Hare Krishna, everybody. Jai Shri Radhe.
Hare
Jai Shri
Krishna.
Bhakti Pramod Puri Gosvāmī Mahārāja.